I got to be honest, I'm a huge fan of credit cards and I use it everywhere I go. But ever since I own these Maybank 2 cards, the Visa and Amex, I never bothered to look at any other credit cards in the market. So I thought instead of investment content day in and day out, why not do some personal finance stuff? And just nice, I wanted a credit card with more cashback rewards, higher credit limit, all those good stuff. And so here we are today. I hope you will be able to benefit from the outcome of my research. And no, this video is not sponsored and I don't have any affiliate links to those banks. So no worries, I will share with you all the tips and tricks on how to maneuver the cheeky terms and conditions set by these banks. And at the end of this video, I will show you how to stack your credit card spending to achieve the maximum cashback based on your income and spending power, optimized for both weekdays and weekends. Sounds good? Let's dive straight into it. So what is a cashback? Well, to make it simple for you, a cashback is basically you spending money and getting back a percentage of it in the form of cash credited back into your account. It's as simple as that.
Money this, money that.
Now you must be thinking,
is it the bank is ripping you off lah? It's dangerous to use credit card cashback because you will end up spending more money than the cashback savings that you get.
well, yes and no. Yes, this is part of their marketing gimmick to get us to sign up and spend more with them. That's a fact for sure. And no, because you can actually use this to your advantage because all the banks are trying to outcompete each other. So by carefully selecting the right cards for the expenditure that you are already spending, be it with e-wallet or debit cards or just other credit cards, that would mean free money into your pocket. Huh. Smart, right?
I swear to God, I'm smart.
Alright, so we start with the first category of credit cards that suits most beginners or fresh grads because they only require you to have at least 2,000 ringgit in terms of gross monthly salary. And they are the Hong Leong Bank Wise Credit Card and the UOB One Classic Card. Let me start off with the HLB Wise Credit Card. It gives you 8% cashback on online spend, groceries, petrol and dining with a monthly cap of 15 ringgit per category and another 0.25% cashback for all other spending with no cap. However, the catch is 1. You will only be eligible for cashback only for your weekend spendings, and 2. You need to spend at least 500 ringgit per month in order to qualify for their cashback program. The second card we have here is the UOB One Classic Card. It gives you 10% cashback on all spendings related to petrol, groceries, dining and Grab related services like GrabFood, GrabCar, GrabPay, etc. with a monthly cap of 10 ringgit per category. And on top of that, it also gives you another 0.2% cashback on any other retail purchases. And similar to the previous Hong Leong card, you will need to spend above 500 ringgit monthly to be eligible for their cashback rewards. So here's a more detailed comparison between both of them. For the Hong Leong Bank Wise Credit Card on the left, you will need to spend 187 ringgit and 50 cents per category on weekends to achieve the maximum cashback of 60 ringgit per month, and that will total up to a minimum spending of 750 ringgit. Whereas for UOB One Classic Card on the right hand side, you will only need to spend 100 ringgit per category to achieve the maximum cashback of 40 ringgit 20 cents, which will total up to a minimum spending of 500 ringgit. And based on my calculation, after deducting their respective annual fees, the total net cashback per year for the Hong Leong Bank Wise Credit Card is significantly higher than the UOB One Classic Card. But just solely looking at the final number is not necessarily the best way to choose between these two cards. So here's my recommendation to you. If you think you will only be spending 500 ringgit a month and don't want to be bogged down by the restriction of only weekend spending, then the UOB One Classic Card will be the perfect cashback credit card for starters. However, if you think you will need to spend around the range of 500 ringgit to 1,250 ringgit a month, I will recommend you to sign up for both of these credit cards with this strategy. Use the UOB One Classic Card on weekdays only and use the Hong Leong Bank Wise credit card on weekends only. And that way, with these two cards, you will get a total of up to 986 ringgit in cashback every single year. Now we go one category higher that requires you to have at least 3,000 ringgit of monthly income. I've gone through tons and tons of cards and found that 3 credit cards stood out in terms of cashback flexibility and don't have any funny requirements, and they are the Citibank Cashback card, the HSBC Amanah Empower Platinum credit card, and the Standard Chartered Just One Platinum card. First from the top, the Citibank Cashback card has a 10% cashback on petrol, groceries, grab and dining with a monthly cap of 10 ringgit per category. And in order to unlock the maximum cashback of 40 ringgit 20 cents, you will only need to spend 100 ringgit on each of the categories listed here, totaling up the monthly spend to only 500 ringgit. And before you ask me, isn't this card similar to the UOB One Classic card? The answer is yes, you are right. But this Citibank card has a 3-year annual fee waiver, so there's extra 3 years of free money for you. Next, we look at the HSBC Amanah Empower Platinum card. It has a 8% cashback per category on petrol, groceries and e-wallet spendings, which includes Samsung Pay, Grab Pay, Touch and Go and Fave Pay. The catch here is that in order to achieve the total monthly cashback of 47 ringgit and 88 cents, you will need to spend above 2,000 ringgit monthly. And finally, the Standard Chartered Just One Platinum card has a high 15% cashback reward per category on petrol, groceries and online purchases, which total up to 60 ringgit per month in cashback. However, in order to unlock this 15% cashback, you will need to spend above 2,500 ringgit per month instead of the 2,000 ringgit on the previous 2 cards. Now, let's put these 3 cards side by side and compare them. If your minimum monthly spending is above 2.5k, then the Standard Chartered Just One Platinum card is the clear winner here because it gives you a cashback of 15% per category and a maximum cashback of 445 ringgit per year after deducting the annual fee. Another thing to note is that if you sign up for this card, you will be able to get your first year annual fee waived off, resulting in a total cashback of 720 ringgit for the first year. However, if your monthly spending is less than 2.5k, I would definitely recommend you the Citibank Cashback card because of the first 3 years annual fee waiver, which will save you a total of 435 ringgit. And on top of that, this card offers a much lower annual fees when compared to the HSBC Amanah card, which also results in a higher net max cashback per year. And you would only need to commit a total of 500 ringgit monthly spending to achieve this 10% cashback reward. The only reason why you should choose the HSBC Amanah card over the Standard Chartered Just One card is if you are a heavy e-wallet user. If not, better go with the Standard Chartered one. Alright, moving on to the next category, which requires you to have a monthly income of above 4,000 ringgit. I have for you the UOB One Platinum card and the Citibank Platinum Cashback card. Both these cards have very similar benefits whereby they both have 10% cashback on petrol, groceries, grab and dining with a monthly cap of 15 ringgit per category and a 0.2% unlimited cashback rate on other retail purchases. But in terms of minimum spending to attain the maximum cashback, the UOB One on the left requires you to spend at least 1,200 ringgit only, while the Citibank Platinum card on the right requires you to spend at least 1,500 ringgit per month. Another difference between these two cards that are worth mentioning is their minimum salary requirements. If you have a monthly salary of at least 4,000 ringgit per month, then the UOB One Platinum card will be the best fit for you since it has 20 ringgit more cashback in any given year. It's not much, but it's essentially free money. However, if your salary is at least 5,000 ringgit per month, then I would definitely recommend you to go for the Citibank Platinum Cashback card instead, as you will be able to save a total of 660 ringgit in annual fees for the first 3 years. So I have covered 7 different credit cards for different minimum salary requirements starting from 2,000 ringgit to 4,000 ringgit and above. But those are what I would call the baseline recommendation of how you can get the best out of them with the least amount of effort. However, the real magic begins because #financial engineering. I will now show you how to stack those credit cards in order to get the best rebates out of them. Let me begin with option 1, which is the simplest and easiest option out here because you only need to spend at least 500 ringgit per month and you can get a maximum cashback of 389 ringgit and 40 cents per year with the UOB One Classic card. Here's the breakdown of it. As long as you spend 100 ringgit across each of these categories every single month, then you are fully utilizing it already. However, if you want more rewards and you don't mind using two cards, one for weekend and another one for weekdays, then option 2 allows you to use UOB One Classic card for weekdays and HLB Wise credit card for weekends. And in total, these two cards will give you 986 ringgit and 40 cents of net cashback after fees every single year. Here's a spending breakdown for both of them. You will need to spend 100 ringgit on the UOB One Classic card on the left, whereas you will need to spend 187 ringgit and 50 cents across each Petrol, Groceries, Grab and dining category. Then you are good to go every single month. But if you are the type of person that doesn't want to have that weekend spending constraint, then we can look at the alternative to option 2, and that is option 3, where you combine UOB One Classic card again with the Citibank Cashback card. This option allows you to have the flexibility to spend both during weekdays and weekends, and in total, they will give you a net cashback of 871 ringgit and 80 cents per year for the first 3 years, and then 726 ringgit and 80 cents per year for year 4 onwards. Their spending is actually simpler than the previous option because you only have to spend 100 ringgit across each category every single month, up to a total of 500 ringgit each card, and then you will be able to keep that maximum monthly cashback. Now the last option, this is where things get interesting and perhaps complicated because we are trying to push things to the theoretical limit, and with that it requires additional effort in the form of budgeting because you want to avoid overlapping the spending in order to achieve the maximum rewards. Or you can always be the guy that asks the cashier to split the bill in two so you can spend on both cards to maximize your cashback. Hey, whatever works, right? Anyways, if you are the type that's already been budgeting, then I think this option would be suitable for you to explore. But if not, feel free to skip it because understandably, not everyone wants to go through that hassle. This option is obviously for those of you with a much higher income power, probably at least in the 8,000 ringgit region and above, because it requires you to spend at least 3,250 ringgit a month in order to hit that maximum cashback target. You will want to stack the previous UOB One Classic card and HLB Wise credit card because they are both the easiest to fulfill at 500 ringgit monthly spending each. Then you will want to add 2 more Citibank cashback cards on top of them, which will allow you to hit that maximum 2,210 ringgit and 40 cents of annual cashback amount. Here's the spending breakdown for you. You will need to spend these amounts across all 4 cards in these categories in order to attain the maximum cashback. What I would recommend if you go down this rabbit hole is to first spend the first 2 cards on the left hand side because the Citibank cards on the right actually have 3 years of annual fee waiver. So if for some reason you don't like the hassle of budgeting, after some time of doing that, then you can always cancel them during that period, right? All in all, if you ask me, I personally would lean towards option 2 or just either card in option 2 because I usually only have time to spend on groceries and eating out during the weekends, so the HLB Wise credit card weekend spending requirement is not an issue for me. But as a starter, I would definitely recommend to at least get the UOB One Classic card because it just seems like an all-rounder card for both weekdays and weekend spending to get a net cashback of almost 400 ringgit per year, and that is free money. And we know that it only requires 500 ringgit monthly spending, which is pretty easy to achieve. Plus, foreign banks like them would usually give a significantly higher credit limit compared to local banks. So it seems like we have found the winner here. All said and done, let me know in the comments below which cards are you using right now and which card would you look forward to apply, and feel free to share any tips and tricks. I'm sure all of us will be able to benefit from it. I will also leave the links to each card in the description box below. Again, they are not affiliate links, so feel free to click in and have a read yourself. And before you click away from this video, feel free to check out the link in the pinned comment below to apply for a Wise International debit card, which will be very helpful for your overseas travel. And the best part is, they only charge you a small one-time fee for the card, and you can hold and convert more than 54 currencies in it. Alright, thanks for watching, and as usual, I will see you in the next one.